cure the default or can't get into some sort of repayment plan with the bank. So sometimes banks will do a repayment plan with them where you put, 25 or 40% of the arrears down, and then they divide the past due amount by 6 or 12 months, and then that goes on top of your regular mortgage payment that you've got to also get and keep current. So that's generally doesn't work for most people either. So there's not that many options for them to do, which is why Monster is really such a great program. So you're getting face to face and having a quality conversation with somebody who has a very high probability of having to list their house, because they have a very low probability that they're going to get a loan mod or be able to cure the default through some other method. This is exactly this dilemma that you propose is exactly the reason why we make this one of the pillars we use for soliciting listings every single week in our market here.
Donald asks, what is the percentage of your total business is short sale, expired probate, etc.?
That's a question to me, I guess.
Well, I could say here all of our stuff is default and it's all from the Monster. And I think we only have one short sale deal out of our 4 or 5 that we have. So 25% technically for us.
Yeah, that's what I run. About 20-25% of our transactions are short sale. So I'm running a distress funnel using Monster. We're running a FSBO funnel. We're running an expired funnel, which we just really launched Monday, actually. So those are we're running a Facebook funnel. We're running an open house funnel. We're running and then we're doing all kinds of ancillary marketing around our signs and listings. I mean, our objective of every listing is to get 2 transactions from every listing. So we don't rely. Monster is just one of the things that we do, and it should only be one of the things you do, too. But it should be one of those things you do every week, like we do. I mean, Monday, Tuesday, we're putting labels out, and with the same. And every day we're calling on FSBOs, and every day we're doing expired packages, and every day we're nurturing our database, and every day we're sending emails or text or something to somebody, making phone calls. So, I mean, we're not waiting for our phone to ring. I mean, we love it when it does ring, but we're out mixing it up every single day. We're going after it, and you should all be doing, that too. Now, of course, when I started, it was just me. That was a lot harder to do, but now I've got, I've got a whole team of people who keep their foot to the gas, and that's how our business continues to grow, even though there's just one of me. But I get a focus on transactions primarily.
Don, how soon will the foreclosure happen after the decline of loan mod?
Ask that question again.
How soon after will the foreclosure take place after the decline of loan mod?
Well, sometimes it's right away. Listen, every one of these is different. I mean, I wish there was a rule of thumb, but listen, some people want to apply for a loan mod 6 times. Okay, they just won't take no for an answer, and mostly because their friends say they can get a loan mod. Okay,
right.
So, and some people once is enough, or they've done it once or twice before we got to them. They did it one more time, and then they're ready to list. So every one of them is different. I find that we can shorten the amount of time from the time they get a loan mod to the time that they list their transaction by explaining to them very matter-of-factly that they are not getting a loan mod, and being able to explain why mathematically. It's not a gut feeling. I'm not saying I don't think you're going to be able to get a loan mod. I say you're not going to get a loan mod, and here's why. And then I go back to the loan mod book that I wrote that you guys should all have access to, that, of the 5 mathematical formulas: front-end debt to income, back-end debt to income, pre-mod cash flow, post-mod cash flow, and net present value. So I go right back to those formulas mathematically, and I show them why they're not getting approved. And unless their financial situation is improved, making another application is just a waste of time. So, and then I ask them, are you looking to keep your house forever, or you just need a little more time before you're ready to transition into a new house? And almost every time they say, no, we're never going to keep this house. We just don't want to move until school's out or until Christmas or whatever the case may be. And then we show them how selling their house actually buys them more time than the loan mod. It helps them stay out of foreclosure. It gives them the additional time they need. And we have a conversation about what transition timing looks like and what the transition itself looks like and how we're going to help them get out of this house and into something else. And once they can see the end zone, they're like, yeah, that's what we got to do. So how do we do that? What's next? And then we're pulling out listing paperwork.
Question from Joe and Donald. David, where can we share? Can you share again how we get your loan mod book?
Just email me, David at homeloanadvocates.com. The advocates is plural, David at homeloanadvocates.com, and ask for the loan mod book, and I'll get it off to you.
There you go. And again, for those that are late, I was just going through the registrations. I don't know if this is accurate, but the Schmells will be there. My, this is turning into quite the event. That's very good. The more people we have that are very active with the product, the better it is for all of you to be there live and to talk to them. And usually everybody's pretty wide open about talking about what they're doing and implementing in their business. Barbara DeMarco, on the defaulted properties, when you meet with them and they decide to list, do you decide if they start as a short sale or go traditional sales based on the comp? What is the best way to list it? Did that make sense?
No, but I'm going to read the question, see if it makes sense reading
Okay.
Is that from Don the credit?
No, Barbara DeMarco. Question.
On the defaulted properties, when you meet with them and they decide to list, do you decide if they
the number's always dictated.
I see what the question is. Well, I mean, if it's clear-cut equity deal, I just do a regular listing. But if it's not clear cut, I always start with the short sale, especially if we're trying to avoid foreclosure. So here's a little trick, okay? This is a pro tip. When you are facing foreclosure on a property and let's say that there's $100,000 in equity. So it's an equity transaction. It's not a short sale, but they have foreclosure. Here's the trick. Submit it to the bank as a short sale. And they will go, and they have no idea until they do the valuation what it is. That'll buy you 30 days. That oftentimes will get the foreclosure postponed. And then when the bank counters, they counter it, they say it's a full payoff, then you can resume normal marketing. So I always try, whether or not there's equity or not, if there's a foreclosure date looming, we submit it as a short sale just so we can get the relief. But we don't tell them it's equity. We just submit it as a short sale. We submit a low ball offer and let them take 30 days to counter. And that generally will buy us a little extra time while we go out and find a retail buyer.
And Barbara said perfect. And then in that retail time span, I'm guessing that you park one of your people on it to try to get both ends of the deal. At least that's what I would do. At least that's what I would do. Yeah. Don, the credits for Sly Broadcast never got sent out last week. I apologize, Don. When I send a replay of this out, I will make sure that is out as well. Any other questions? You're welcome. If home is in default, do we need to disclose it on the MLS even though there is equity? It's a good question.
Well, my MLS you do. So there's a
I think it's per MLS full, right?
What's that?
I think it's a per MLS. Right.
And anybody who's writing an offer on it is probably going to see it. I mean,
Yeah.
And I disclose it in my listing too, in private remarks. I have them submit the offer using notice of default purchase agreement, which is what we do in California.
Yep.
If I have a house in foreclosure, I make them write an NODPA.
Blyson, do you list in the MLS as short sale or regular sale when you submit the low ball offer to the bank and change the status to pending? I would think you'd leave it as a short sale and put the status as pending if you are submitting an offer, just because the bank is probably going to see it. I could be wrong, David.
No, we submitted, first of all, when I listed short sale, I listed about 5% under low end market range. Okay, and that's one of the ways we influence the valuation. The second thing that we do is and whether or not I go pending or active depends on whether or not I want more offers. If I want more offers, I go active and I open up the MLS description that says backup offers encouraged, exclamation, 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 and then my description. So if I don't want offers, I just take it pending. So that's how I decide.
There you go. Any additional questions? For those of you that have arrived late, as you can see on the screen, type in PRE-FORECLOSURESUMMIT.com and register. It is confirmed. We will be going from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock on Friday, April the 6th. Doors to the facility open at 9 o'clock, and doors will close on the facility at 6 o'clock. So I leave a bumper this time. First speaker will go off at 10. Fred has already agreed to MC the event as always. He does a good job of directing traffic. And if you have any questions about interest rates or getting funding for anybody, Fred will be there to answer those questions. I have confirmed already Justin Druin, who is literally the top appraiser in California. He's also an investor and controls a very large amount of money for an investment group. He will be there and he will speak and he will talk about value of property and projection of property and value. And I will also have Robert Fregoso, one of the top investors in Southern California, works on properties all throughout California. David is confirmed. I am confirmed. Diana is confirmed. I do not have a confirmation on Kevin, who does put out the bulk of our tags and goes on our first door appointments, which I think would be of great interest to many of you. If I structure it correctly, I would like to do Kevin, then Diana, in that order of how we break it down in our own business. I'm just going to share with you exactly how we use it ourselves. But lately, I've been tagging and I'm going on first appointments, which is mind-boggling to many, including myself, that I'm going on first appointments. It's tough. It's first appointments. It's not tough to go on the appointments. I'm just irritated at the first appointment. It's not Here's the thing. I don't want to agree with Tony Robbins, but I will. Congruency is everything. I don't know who wrote that for him. I'm sure it wasn't Tony, but congruency is everything. If you show up at the front door with a bad attitude, you're going to have a bad appointment. If you show up at the front door like me thinking these are just people who are I'm a banker. It just bothers me to look at people who don't pay. I've been doing it for so long. You would think after 10 years of being out of the business, I'd finally be okay and I'd be over the hump and I just wouldn't have that asset manager mentality of looking at people who, oh, I know the bank's going to give it to me. You do, huh? You've got a banker standing in front of you telling you there's no way in hell you're going to get a loan mod, and you're going to tell me how you're going to get the loan mod and sue the bank. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's what's happening in my head. I have already set myself up for failure. I can tell you if you go to the front door with a positive attitude, that good things are going to happen, then good things are going to happen and you're going to build a relationship. That's it. I mean, there's really no secret to the monster. You have a positive attitude. I'll tell you what the number one prevailing attitude of everybody who uses the monster marketing system is. This is never going to work. I'm going to go on this appointment. It's going to be awful. That's it. I know it. That's everybody's appointment when they go on their first appointment, the first month of going on appointments. You literally have to go through 2 or 3 weeks of appointments before you realize, oh crap, this actually works. And then you adjust your attitude. That's why statistically most people get their first listing between weeks 3